Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, I am Lana Simone. I washed my hair yesterday, and I'm going to do this little style with it. I feel like I've done this style before, maybe like a year ago, year and a half ago. Last week I had posted on my story on Instagram that I was going to do a Q&A. So a couple of you guys had some questions that I figure I might as well answer while I do my hair, so we can kind of kill two birds with one stone. OMG, y'all. I'm here looking for this clip whole time. It's in my hair already. Okay. I'm just applying some leave-in conditioner. Y'all know we're still on our waist length journey, so we're about here. We're getting there, y'all. We are getting there, y'all. All right, so the first question, do you have any dream collaborations or brand trips in your goals for 2025? I don't know if I have any dream collaborations at this particular moment. However, I do want to do more events, like more in-person things, just because you guys know that I am very social. I'm a very social person. I love meeting people and just having that face-to-face interaction, you know? It would be cool, though, to attend some of the events like Essence Fest. That would be dope to attend one year. And I'd also love to do more like speaking engagements. So you guys know that I did the World Natural Hair Show last year. So things like that I really enjoy as well. So the first twist is done. Boom. What's that? What? Oh, also, if you guys haven't seen, we did a little thing. So I took a bay trip. We had our first little bay trip to California. And I had been wanting a tattoo since I was 18, y'all. But I have just been scared because I'm terrified of needles. One of my really good friends who lives in California with her husband, you know, we kind of played around with the idea of going to get tattoos as like a double date kind of thing. And it was a very loose idea in the beginning. And so the more we kind of got close to the trip, it's like, oh my God, wait, are we doing this? Like, are we gonna do this? So I got my first tattoo in California with Bae and my homegirl and her husband, and it was amazing. The tattoo did hurt. So everybody who said tattoos don't hurt, why are you lying? I love it. I love the placement. I love the message. I love the wording. I am obsessed with it. Will I get more? To be determined. I don't think if I do get another tattoo, y'all, I don't think it'll be anything, you know, I'm not going in and doing a whole sleeve or doing something super big like that. If I do something else, it'll probably be another dainty little phrase or little, you know, it'll be something small. I don't see myself doing anything over the top like that, personally. So, next question. What are your goals for this year? I don't have any like super crazy goals for this year, honestly. I think I just want to keep elevating and growing my brand. And I also want to attend more events for creators. I also have other life plans, so there may be a move happening this year. But keep that on the hush-hush, because nothing's set in stone just yet. But there are talks of me moving elsewhere. So I'll keep y'all posted, though. All right, so the question that I got about 6 different times. How did you meet your boyfriend? So, we actually met through a mutual friend. One of my best guy friends from college actually grew up with him, so they grew up in the same city, and we ended up at the same event, and he inquired about me through my guy friend. So that is how we met. We went on a date the very next day, and we have been inseparable since. Like, locked in. All right, what else do we got? Are you enjoying having a man? Yes. Yes, I am. I think that's a very straightforward response. I am. I mean, you guys know that I've always just been one to just enjoy. I enjoy life. And I've always said, you know, if it's not meant for me to be with somebody, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I will accept that. If it's just meant for me to be, you know, by myself, cool. And so when I met my boyfriend, it was very much like, okay, wait. So am I not supposed to be alone? Like, what's this, you know? And I absolutely enjoyed my single life. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. I had a great time. But now, I can't imagine life without my person, you know? Because he is just amazing. And he amplifies my life so much. You know, he adds to my happiness. He adds to my peace. And that was something that I was not willing to compromise for anybody. If you're coming into this space, you're gonna be an addition. You know what I mean? All right, next question. Deep conditioner Rex, and how often do you use it? I try to deep condition once a week on wash day. There are some weeks where I do fall short because I don't have the time to do it, whatever the case is. But I will say most weeks I do deep condition my hair. But when I do deep condition, I have been using the Eden Body Works Deep Moisture Deep Condition. I gotta think of the name, but it's Eden Body Works, and I really do like it because I pay attention to how my hair feels after I rinse out the deep conditioner. So for me, it's like if my hair is super dry and I wash it and I deep condition it and it feels just as dry as before I did all that, then we don't have a winner. It's a no-go scenario. But if I deep condition and rinse it out and my hair feels softer, then I know we have a winner. And I think that goes for not only deep conditioners, but for all products. If I'm using a curl cream or a leave-in conditioner, I pay attention to how my hair feels after I'm done using the product and see what it's looking like. You know what I mean? Do you sleep in your jewelry? I do everything with my jewelry on. Everything. My jeweler is always telling me it's not good to do that. You're supposed to take off your jewelry when you shower, when you sleep, and all that. I used to take off my jewelry for these things, and what I realized was that I started losing things. And I was like, you know what? They're just gonna have to stay on my person at all times. Like, we're not. Will you have another meetup? So I'm actually planning a meetup. Well, it's not really so much a meetup, it's more of a getaway type of situation. But it is still in the works. So once I have everything solidified, obviously y'all will be the first to know. What is Bay's sign? He is actually a Pisces. Y'all know I don't keep up with zodiac signs or any of that. So y'all gotta let me know if he's secretly crazy and I gotta watch my back. I'm just kidding. I don't know, y'all. I think when it comes to zodiac signs, like, I know that there is probably some truth to a lot of it, but for me, I kind of just always go by a person's character. Okay, so I think for this side, I'm going to section off a couple of different pieces. Yeah, all right, so I think we're good here. So what we've done is we have just sectioned off this front side piece. So we're almost done with the back, y'all. My arms are they're already starting, but we're gonna push through. We may end up needing a break at some point, but for the back twist, what I'm gonna do is just take a little bobby pin here and pin it down so that they can kind of lay a little bit more flat. That is the plan, right? Okay. All right, boom. Next question. What made you start content creation? When I was in college, I was one of very few people who didn't have a relaxer. So a lot of my friends had relaxers, or they were growing their relaxers out, whatever the case was. So because of that, I was always getting questions about my hair. Since I was getting so many questions, at the time, I think Instagram had just started with the 15-second videos. And so I posted a 15-second video. I think I was doing a flexi rod set. And so once I posted that, I was getting all these messages from my friends telling me that my video is on Facebook and it's at like 1 million views. And I was like, and that took me by surprise, because I'm over here like, this little 15-second video that I posted on Instagram is now viral on Facebook. Like, and people weren't really going viral at that time. This was what, 2015? And so when that video took off, I was like, maybe this is my calling. Maybe this is something that I need to dabble in a bit and see where it goes. Before I get into that question, I want to show you guys what I'm going to be doing with the front twist, just because I'm going to be doing them a little bit different. I wanted to have more of a sleek look in the front as opposed to the back where I'm kind of just twisting and going. So what I am going to do is I'm going to braid the root, so you guys can see here. And then when I get to about here, what I'm going to do is just split it into two and just start twisting. Maybe halfway done. We're probably halfway done at this point. Recommendations for those wanting to start content creation and maintain privacy or not overshare. So for me, I would just suggest having some boundaries for yourself. I know I share quite a bit about my life, but there are certain things that I don't share on social media. So I think it'll just be a matter of you figuring out what that looks like for you, what you're comfortable sharing versus not comfortable sharing. I want to connect with my audience and I want to build a community, but I also don't want to feel obligated to share every single little tiny piece of my life. You know what I mean? But still maintain that connection with, you know, with my people. So for me, I had to just realize that I can connect with people simply by just being authentically me, you know, just by being myself and, you know, people being able to relate to me as a person, my personality, the way that I am, just being an extrovert, putting on for all the goofy girls, the people who have natural hair, the people who love to dance and love music. Like, there's other ways that people can connect with you without you having to share every bit of your life, you know? Favorite song at the moment. At the moment, my favorite, I don't know if I have a favorite song, but I have been listening to a lot of Larry June and Primo Rice. Like, those have been, I think, my top two artists that I've been playing recently. And Larry June just dropped a little album with 2 Chainz. Yeah, so I've been very busy with that album. All right, next question. What do you look for in a man? Well, what did I look for in a man? I guess we should talk about the past tense. Like, what was she looking for? So for me, I just always wanted somebody who was going to accept me for me and let me just be my authentic self. You know, you have so many people out here trying to change people. I am a super extrovert and I have such a big personality, so I didn't want anybody who was going to try to change that or tone me down or, you know, just try to alter that in any way, because I am who I am. Take it or leave it, you know? I also wanted somebody who was going to be very kind to me and prioritize me. I wanted somebody super chill, just chill, calm, relaxed, not trying to do too much. And I wanted somebody who I could vibe with. I think that's probably one of the most important things, because there's a lot of people out here in this world, and you know, you may think you like somebody, but when y'all get together, it's like the vibe is just not there. Me and Bae, we have our date nights, you know, where we go out and leave the house, but we both also really enjoy being home. And you know, those times where we are home watching movies or listening to music, like, the vibe is just always there. We can just sit in the house and literally do nothing and we'll be having the best time. So I think that's probably one of the main things too, is just finding someone who I could just vibe with. All right, what is a secret talent of yours? What's a secret talent of mine, y'all? Don't laugh, y'all. I'm telling y'all, don't laugh, and I'm already laughing. So no judgment. We listen and we don't judge, okay? So one of my talents, I am really good at picking things up with my toes. I'm really good at that. It's something that I learned at a very young age. I feel like my toe strength is comparable to my finger strength. Maybe even a little bit more. I'm also really good at learning lyrics. I don't know if that's like a talent or what. If I hear a song that I like, I'll have to listen to it a couple of times and I'll know the entire song like word for word. That's kind of how my brain works, and I learned this back when I was in, I think, middle school, because Knuck If You Buck came out, and I was like obsessed with that song and I was determined to learn the whole thing. So I listened to it on my CD player, and that was how I learned that song. Where do you get your moo-moos? Surprisingly enough, all of my moo-moos came from the thrift store. I probably have maybe like six or seven moo-moos. And low-key, I feel like I find one just about every single time that I go thrifting. But the trick is, I feel like they don't really know where to place moo-moos. So I've seen them in the pajama section, I've seen them with the dresses, I've seen them with the swimwear. I've just seen them in a bunch of different places, so I think that's the trick. If you're looking for a moo-moo, like, you really kind of just have to search, you know? Why don't you drink alcohol? I feel like I always get this question when I do these types of things. Shout out to you for knowing that, though. So there are a couple of reasons why I don't drink. You know, being in college and going to college parties and just seeing people sloppy drunk and knowing that this is as a result of alcohol, I never really saw the appeal for me. And I've also never really been one to succumb to peer pressure. That's never really been my personality, per se. So people trying to throw shots in my face and, you know, oh, just drink this. Oh, come on, drink this. Like, no. No, I'm good. We're good. I don't like the taste of it. And a few of you guys know this, but I have a severe phobia of vomit. I can't take it. So I'm never going to put myself in a position to where that is even a possibility. Let me just get a cute little mocktail. Cheers. How have you been with your GI health, and how are you able to gain financially from Instagram? So I am actually still on my GI health journey, if I'm being real. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I went on that 3-month diet. And although I did see some improvement being on that diet, the low FODMAP diet, at least for me, it just wasn't sustainable. Like, it wasn't sustainable. I felt like I wasn't getting enough nutrients because there were just so many foods that I could not eat, you know? But I actually just went to another holistic doctor last week who I'm going to be working with for the next couple of weeks. And hopefully we'll have more solutions, but I am still on my GI health journey. So that's why I haven't really posted too much about it, because there really haven't been that many updates. All right, y'all, we're gonna have to take a little break because the way my back is set up, for the most part, we're pretty much done. The arms need a break, the back need a break, y'all. We ain't got it like we used to. I'm just kidding. But no, my back is actually hurting, so we're gonna take a little 30-minute, come back, and finish up. Whew! All right, y'all, we sat down for a bit, we ate some food. I think we are ready to finish up. How are you able to gain financially from Instagram? In full transparency, Instagram stopped paying for Reels, so I don't get paid from Instagram anymore. But I do get paid from different brands who want me to post my content on Instagram or TikTok. So I get paid from doing campaigns with brands. All right, next question. How do you maintain twist outs like at night? So for me, my twist outs usually last me for the week. How I maintain it at night, I just put my hair up in a very loose pineapple. You don't want to put it too tight because you'll end up having that crease in your hair, and we don't want that. So that's typically how I maintain it at night, and then I just wear my satin cap on top of that. We're starting off with just a regular degular braid, right? And then we are sectioning that into 2, and we're just going to twist it. And we finger coil the end. What relationship advice would you give your younger self? So funny enough, y'all, out of all the relationships that I've had, I would not go back and change anything. Out of all my relationships, I learned something. Like, I was able to take away something from each relationship, whether it was something I learned about myself, about other people, how to deal with certain people. Like, I learned something from every single relationship that I've ever been in. So I guess the advice that I would give to my younger self is don't ever change for anybody. Don't change for anybody. Always be exactly who you are, and the right person will find you. Let's see, what else? Always pay attention to people's actions. Words mean nothing if there's no action behind it. Dates are important. I remember there was one point in time where I was telling myself, and I think this was like back in college, I was telling myself I don't really care about being taken out on dates, like it's not a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. If for nothing else, the person who you're with needs to be showing some type of effort. And lastly, do not settle. Do not settle. Oh my God, there were so many times that I could have settled, y'all. You know what type of person that you want to be with, and if you're meeting people who are not lining up with those characteristics, don't settle. Don't try to change what it is that you're actually looking for because, you just want to be with this person. Like, you'll find exactly what it is that you're looking for, and you won't have to settle for something that you don't want, So I think what I'm gonna do is do some type of flat twist action. Maybe I'll do, all right, so boom. That is, that's what took the time. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is just 2-strand twist it. I think we slid on this twist, y'all. Take my bobby pin and just hold it down. I'm gonna take 2 bobby pins. Yeah. So the first twist is done. This style is gonna eat for real. Am I gonna part these last 2 so that they still have that like swoop effect? You know what I mean? I'll do it like this. Like swoop the curve. Y'all see I done got quiet because I'm over here trying to focus. The focus is real. This literally took me like 3.5 hours. My goodness. We are going out today, so I'm gonna go beat a little face and then come back, slick a little edge, and I think there's 1 or 2 more questions. So, like gold rings to the twist, but not to all the twist. Maybe just the bottom one, maybe the middle one. Let's see. So I am just hooking it into the twist. Oh, I didn't forget, there were 2 last questions that I wanted to answer. I didn't forget about y'all. If you could live anywhere else, where would it be? It would definitely have to be someplace warm because you know we don't do the cold. But I could probably live somewhere else in Florida. Definitely somewhere else in Florida. I could maybe do a Cali. I could probably do an Atlanta situation. And it's always been a dream of mine to live in Jamaica, y'all. Because y'all know my family is Jamaican, so maybe I'll retire in Jamaica. Maybe that'll be the plan. But yeah, I think those are the places that I could see myself living. Will we see your man? Y'all will. And this kind of goes back to that question that was asked early on about not oversharing and maintaining privacy. So that's kind of where I'm at, right? Because I feel like I share so much of my life on social media. Y'all see my friends, my family, where I'm traveling, what I'm doing, what I'm eating, what I'm cooking. Like I just share so much of my life. And I told myself that whenever I get into a relationship, I want that to be just for me. At least for now. Y'all will see who I'm dating at some point. Yes, I plan on posting him. So appreciate y'all for understanding. Thank you guys for all of your amazing questions. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of these. I really enjoyed talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I felt like we were just sitting down, just chit-chatting like homegirls or homeboys. You know what I mean? Thank you all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. I am Lana Simone, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.